Okay, so hello everyone. I want you all to scan this QR code. So I'm pretty sure that you all must be having some questions which you would like to ask our esteemed speakers, which are Mr. Arsh Goyal and Mr. Sandeep Jain. So you can just scan this QR code, and if you have any questions, you can just put them in there, and we'll be very happy to answer those questions to our esteemed speakers. So hi guys, welcome to the speaker session organized by the Great and Confident Society. So before starting, this is a very short brief introduction. हम लोग सबसे मजे कर लेते हैं तब तक speakers नहीं आ रहे. They will be joining us in next 15 minutes. But before that, let's take a very short game, right? So can we have the next slide please? Aakash, next slide. Yeah. So here is a link for a Google form. I want everyone here to please scan your form. आप इसमें जो भी आंसर्स देंगे, जो भी हम फर्स्ट आएंगे, हम सबको रेड बुक चलेंगे. सो अगर आपको इस बच्चों को भी फ्री में रेड बुक चाहिए, प्लीज जल्दी से रेड बुक को स्कैन करें. वेरी फन गेम, छोटा सा गेम है.
क्यों आईडी करा दो आईडी
यार पूरा रेड बुक है हमारे पास. इतने बच्चे भी नहीं हैं, जल्दी जल्दी कर लो स्कैन.
नहीं नहीं
आई गेस सबने फॉर्म स्कैन कर लिया है. अब जब आपने स्कैन कर लिया, आप एक नए टैब पे जाओ and there is a site called tensor.art. Yeah, so tensor.art, and I want everyone to pay attention now. Everyone please pay attention. I want everyone to please maintain everyone pay attention. आपको करना क्या है? बहुत सिंपल सा गेम है. What you have to do is, हम यहाँ पे आपकी फोटो दिखाएंगे and उस फोटो को देख के आपको सेंसर और आर्ट में प्रॉम्प्ट डालना है. आई गेस चैट जीपीटी सबने यूज किया है, राइट? इसी हिसाब से आपको अपना एक प्रॉम्प्ट डालना है कि आप सेव जनरेट कर रहा हो. यहाँ फोटो दिखाया वो सेव जनरेट करवानी है अपने फोन में. एंड जितनी आप क्रिएट करते जाओगे उतना ही एक्स्ट्रा पॉइंट्स. दिस इज फनी इवेंट. आप जितनी पहली फोटो बनाओगे एंड जितनी फोटो से पहली होगी जरूर में दे विल गेट अ रेड. राइट? टेंशन कर रहा हूं, जल्दी लॉगिन करो.
ओके
ऑलराइट गाइस, आई गेस सबने कर लिया टेंशन और आर्ट लॉगिन कर लिया भाई। चलो लेट्स बिगिन विद दिस वंडरफुल गेम।
इसको
कैन वी
चार्जर
हैव द
मारना
फर्स्ट
था
लाइट
चार्जर
प्लीज? सो वेयर इज द फर्स्ट लाइट? आपको जल्दी से 2 मिनट के
चार्जर
अंदर एक प्रॉम्प्ट डाल के एक इमेज जनरेट कराने की कोशिश करनी है। कुछ ये हमने खुद ही जनरेट करी है, तो आप सोचो हमने क्या ही प्रॉम्प्ट डाला होगा कि ये इमेज जनरेट होने आ गई। ठीक है, जल्दी से ट्राई करो। ऐसी मत करो इसको आप क्रिएट कर दो एंड विल टेक योर हेल्पफुल फाइन बस।
पास्ता Self cooking, ready, cat,
जल्दी जल्दी जल्दी। किसी का क्या आउटपुट आया? किसी का कोई आउटपुट आया? यस, वी हैव समवन हैविंग आउटपुट। प्लीज कोड आगे चेक कर लो, जो भी विनर होगा कोड अनाउंस करेंगे एंड विल गिव देम रेड बुल्स। फर्स्ट राउंड के लिए 2 रेड बुल्स हमारे पास। आ गई है चेची। ए 1 2 आ गई 1। ए ये लो रेड बुल। सामने सामने सामने। थोड़ा और बस भाई, थोड़ा और बस। थोड़ा और बस टाइम। सारांश भाई फोटो।
आई कार्ड तो उतार दे।
ओके गाइस, 1 to 1 फोटो आ गई भाई। काफी कुछ नहीं, 1 to 1 तो नहीं है बट काफी अच्छी फोटो है। आप ऐसी क्रिएटिविटी यूज करो, आसपास भी जाओगे सो विल गेट योर रेड। ओके चलो, कैन वी हैव अ ह्यूज राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज फॉर हिम?
अच्छा नेटवर्क।
किसी और का बताया आउटपुट? अच्छा आउटपुट। किसी और को आउटपुट आया इसके रिलेटेड? विवाद ध्यान जाएगा वहां पे ट्राई करके वहां पे चीज हो रहा है। जैसे थोड़ा सा ट्राई करो।
ये दोनों तीन छोड़ के आ गए।
कुछ भी आउटपुट आया वहां पे आएगा, चेक करो। यहाँ पे किसी और कुछ आया देख भाई, वहां पे भी देखो आया। अच्छा देखो कौन सा है आजा भाई, एक देख 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 क्या देख। चलो नाउ मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट पार्ट। जो आगे हो गई 2 हो गई। अब आपको नेक्स्ट राउंड ट्राई करने को मिला। ठीक है, जो पीछे बना रहे हैं। नाउ वी हैव द सेकंड स्लाइड। कैन यू हैव द सेकंड स्लाइड? अभी जनरेट करिए उसको। क्या है ये? कैसे बना होगा ये? किसने बनाया होगा ये? क्या प्रॉम्प्ट दिया है? 2 minutes for this. किसी का आउटपुट आया? किसी का आउटपुट आया? और किसी का आउटपुट आया? इधर भी आया किसी का? तो चेक करो यार कौन आया फर्स्ट। जल्दी जल्दी देखो कौन आ रहा है। किसी का कुछ आउटपुट अच्छा आया नहीं? किसी का नहीं आएगा। अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है। किसी का अच्छा आ रहा है? किसी का अच्छा नहीं आ रहा है क्या? क्या है? कैसा है? चल कोई नहीं और देख लेते हैं। 1 सेकंड और लास्ट 30 सेकंड्स। Try out. होगा पूरा कौन आया बस ये कौन है बस चलो आज जल्दी चलो फटाफट चलो यार इसमें बिल्ली बैठा दी बड़ों में वो क्रिएट करो ठीक है सो ये ग्राफ ऑफ प्लीज हैव यूज ऑन क्रॉस फॉर एन अरे यूज तो नहीं भी कर सकते आप ऐसे इतने कम इंतजाम से बैठे हो तो नहीं चलेगा राइट एंड वी हैव यूज लॉट ऑफ क्रॉस फॉर इट Okay guys, it's a very humble request. सेंटर बोलिए कॉलम में 500 हो गए थे उधर ओवर मैक्सिमम लेफ्ट साइड ओवर मैक्सिमम 10 ग्रुप्स हैं एक साथ बैठ सकते हो बट 5 इधर 6 लोग आ रहे हैं 3 बजे तक बट उधर 4 इधर 4 बाकी एक साथ पीछे क्विक प्लीज आई रिक्वेस्ट यू ऑल टू कोऑपरेट विद मी I know I might be funny earlier on, I know, but if you guys cooperate with me, it will be very easier to make it to you. In the center column, 5 people max. Left and right, 4 people max. Please come on guys quickly. Guys, I hope I am audible.
A disgusting feeling you have.
सेकंड ये वाली रो प्लीज। चार लोग यहाँ से तुम चार लोग
Anxiety, photo था लोग पहले से आ गए हैं and I'm sorry to get on but please cooperate करो थोड़ा सा हमारे कैप्टनसी में आ रहा है हमारी कैप्टनसी में आ रहा है पॉसिबल यार कर लो
पीछे से छान छान कर दे मान के भी आता है तभी तो नहीं भाई आता है
मेरा बैग चाहिए मेरे को।
Sorry?
चलो गाइस 5 मिनट्स रहते हैं हमारे पास और 5 मिनट्स को यूटिलाइज ही कर लेते हैं हमारे पास रेडोज भी रहते हैं फ्री के तक है आप लोग की नजर हो तो 125 रुपीस की फ्री मिल रही है एंड हियर वी हैव द नेक्स्ट फोटो इसको बना के दिखाओ आपको लगता है ये किसी को मेरे से मिलती है
नाम नहीं लगा फिर
कोई नाम नहीं लगा तो अपनी जल्दी से करो पीछे के दोस्त से बहुत रिक्वेस्ट कर रहे थे गेम फिर से रिस्टार्ट करा दो जब तक वेट करते हैं speaker, I am green and sorry. Please sit down. There is a define the purpose of our presence here, and there is no need to prolong it any further. We are delighted and excited to welcome you to today's speaker session, showcasing two of the distinguished guests who have made a substantial impact in the realms of technology and education. We'll first start with a set of questions by our panel, and then to the questions made by you guys only. We will explain that further, but for now, we shall have a set of questions we have decided.
It is truly a pleasure to see so many faces eager to learn and explore. So without any further ado, let us all welcome our first speaker, the man behind Geeks for Geeks and an alumni from IIT Rocket, Mr. Sadiq Jain. For building a community of learning and his relentless pursuit of excellence has not only transformed education today, but has also inspired countless individuals in their own journeys. We are all profoundly honored for his presence with us today.
And joining us alongside is none other than Earth Poet, a name that resonates with students across colleges nationwide. to his dynamic presence on platforms such as Telegram and YouTube, Harsh has revolutionized the way students approach learning, career guidance, and job opportunities.
As we embark upon this remarkable gathering, I encourage each of you to open your minds towards the knowledge our speakers have to impart upon us. Without any delay, let's kickstart this enlightening speaker session. I would now like to hand over the mics to my co-hosts, Dayal and Janvi.
First of all, I would like to thank you both for sparing your time from your busy schedule and for being here to share your words of wisdom from with all the students present here who are eager to hear from you both.
Can we please have a huge round of applause for Mr. Sandeep Singh and Mr. Ashok? Now we will be starting with the first set of questions. My first question will be for you, Sandeep sir. Sandeep sir, the first thing which pops in our head when we talk about you is Geeks for Geeks. So how did you come up with such an idea for Geeks for Geeks? And did you ever expect it to be as big as it is today? And one more question for you. How did you come up with the name Geeks for Geeks? So, I started my journey with IIT preparation, and after 3 years of preparation, I couldn't crack it. I mean, in our times, there was no limit. So, I was doing engineering from a college in Mathura, and we had 0% placement there. And I had no idea how to apply off campus. That was the first gap I saw in my career. After that, I did teaching for a year and went for MTech in IIT Roorkee. Even there, we had more than 100% placement. There was a gap. The students did not know what companies asked at that time. They were not websites like Eastworthy, they were not YouTube channels like our Shoyal and many other channels and websites. So there was no idea. We were just focusing on academics. So when I saw this problem, I thought I can do something about it, and I was very passionate about teaching. I was mostly looking for teaching jobs in my campus placement. When companies were coming, I was like asking everyone, is there a teaching job that pays equally to these companies? But in IIT, and IIT, there was no teaching job. There was no ethics at that time. So I joined a software company, forgot my passion of teaching. And when I joined that company, I did enjoy for a month or two. After that, I stopped enjoying because I wanted to be a teacher, but I was not getting the same salary as the software job. So to fulfill my passion of teaching and solve that problem that I saw in both the campuses, in tier 3 we had no idea how to apply off campus. In IIT Roorkee, even if we had more than 100% placement, we were not aware what kind of questions were asked. So in IIT Roorkee, I spent first semester completely in academics. My CGPA was above 9. And then when my seniors started getting this, I started asking them questions. What kind of questions these companies ask? So they told me that whatever you studied, it's not of that much use. They mostly ask you data structure and problem solving. So with my teacher job, I started working on this website as a weekend activity, and from there I started. And for 5.5 years, maybe 6, 7 years, it was not making any money. I just kept on writing content and kept on publishing the content. And I left that software job after some time and joined a teacher, joined as a teacher because I wanted to work on Geeks for Geek, wanted to continue the teaching journey and the blog. And how did I get this name? In our times, there was a social media org which was very, very popular. And I had a friend from IIT Kharagpur, and his org handle was Geek for You. And I really liked that name. It was totally different from every other name. So that's how I picked the name Geeks for Geeks.
Thanks a lot, sir, for sharing the part of your life. Whenever we discuss about starting a career, who better to talk than the one and only Arsh sir? Many of us would be interested to know how you began your career and how you landed a position at a prominent company like Samsung.
First of all, thank you so much to all of you for joining in on Sunday, you know, and thank you to the entire team of Creative Computing Society Harvard for inviting. Coming to your question, so when I was in college, I was passionate about speaking in public. When you say speaking in public, I was passionate about how can I go ahead and conduct a workshop in college, right? So I started a club in my college known as Coding Club NIT Jalandhar. I'm also from NIT Jalandhar. And that time there were no resources, there were no content creators. We just had websites like Geeks for Weeks or Code or something like that. So we just used to practice. There was no video content which was present like freely on YouTube. Right? So I started a club, started taking workshops. Gathered 50 students on a Saturday evening, taught them what is web development. Although I was also late, I didn't know everything. But yeah, जितना आता था, I was able to deliver. मुझे सब चीज था, web development, cloud computing, सब object programming, data structure development. So कुछ छोटा छोटा experience था, 50 साल बच्चों को समझाने का पढ़ाने का. Then COVID came in, COVID के बाद क्या हुआ? Everything was online. It would touch खत्म हो गया था. I was not getting that kind of environment. जहाँ पे जाके I could speak publicly. It was more than 1.5 years sitting at home. Already I had pretty friendship. When I was in college, I was passionate about it. मुझे जो भी चीज आ रही है ना सामने, whether it's a competition, whether it's a coding contest, whether it's a hackathon, I should at least go and participate. मैंने अपना वो वाला कीड़ा था कि participate तो करना है, आ जाएंगे, जीत जाएंगे, that's one. तो ऐसे ही किसी को मोटिवेट कर दिया, LinkedIn में बहुत एक्टिव रहते थे. With that, actually, I did an internship with ISRO that was through old email. Then Samsung, there were a lot of companies that came on campus for internships. So I got an internship at Samsung and did that internship in COVID times, online from home, and it was the first experience how to get that thing done online. So उस time my company was not comfortable, we were also not comfortable. So getting that PPO at that time was a very crucial thing, right? We had a batch of 120 going down, and out of that, 18 were converted for a full-time role. That was one of them. I got a full-time role there. And after that, in my final year, I thought I had a lot of time. So, कैसे उस time को utilize करना है? I made a team with 3-4 of my friends. उसको जितनी भी hackathons हो रही थी, I went ahead and participated in all the hackathons. There was a company known as Like an Express, they ran a hackathon, and through that, I got an offer as a software engineer at Like an Express. There was a company known as Lowe's Group of Companies. It's a home improvement company based out of Canada. उसका भी hackathon हुआ था, उससे I got a prize money as well as a PPO offer again. तो उस टाइम पता नहीं लगा था, तो जितने भी hackathon हुए, offer में hackathon, so I participated in each and everything, and I realized, yeah, there are opportunities, but people are not aware of those. And so major gap एक हम tier 2 tier 3 colleges के बच्चों में, tier 1 के बच्चों में, वो यही है कि they are not aware of hackathon. So based on that idea, I started that. जॉब तो हो गई है, लेट्स ट्राई टू डू समथिंग इन दिस. ऐसे कुछ थॉट प्रोसेस सीखा कि स्टार्ट करेंगे यूट्यूब ऐसा होता है. आई डिडंट फॉलो एनी यूट्यूबर, सो मैंने नहीं पता कि यूट्यूब काम कैसे करता है. एंड मेरा फर्स्ट ईयर ना, वेयर आई टॉक अबाउट माय हैकाथन एक्सपीरियंस दैट आई गॉट अ पीपीओ ऑफ 20 lakhs एंड अ प्राइज मनी ऑफ 1 lakh ऑफ दैट वीडियो गॉट ट्रैक्शन. वहां से थोड़ा सा कुछ मिला एंड आई स्टार्टेड. सो दिस इज व्हेन आई वाज इन 8th semester of college. So यहाँ से स्टार्ट हुआ एंड कभी बन गया कंपनी ऐसा हो. साथ साथ वो कंटेंट वाली चीज आगे चल रही है.
Thanks a lot, sir, for your answer. My next question will be for the both of you. Sir, as we all know, you have a huge fan following. So, means sir, you have run such a successful business, and sir, you have such a huge students fan following, both on Telegram and YouTube as well, and now even on WhatsApp channels. So, sir, my next question is, how do you actually build a business from 0 to 1, which is one of the most important and difficult parts of business?
So, I'll just share my journey, how I started the business. As I said, when I was in IIT, I got placed into a company and I wanted to be a teacher. So, if you want to build a business, you need to see a problem, and especially the problem which is probably you are part of, or maybe somebody in your family or friends are part of. And if you can solve that problem with your skills, then you're already set for the business. And if I talk about current environment, it's a very employer-friendly environment these days. The kind of job situation we have in the market. So I would strongly recommend everyone to try business, at least a business. You can see the kind of shamelessness companies are showing these days with hiring people, laying off people. So it's very important that you have something on the side. I did that with my initial job. So my idea, how I built this business, my idea initially was very simple. I wanted to go for a teaching job, and teaching salary was not as good as the software salary. So I wanted to fill this gap. My aim in life was to be a professor in a college like IIT or MIT and have a side income so that I can justify to my family that I am doing something else to justify the salary. So I started DSO's blog, started publishing a lot of content, and then I really had a lot of tough time also. When I left that software job and went for this teaching job at a lower salary, nobody in my family liked this idea. Everybody thought that I was being fired from that company. I was not fired. I was not a very good software developer, but I was not fired. Everybody thought the same because nobody goes for a lower salary. And those are the challenges and tough times you face when you build a company or you take certain decisions. I will tell you, like, there are three career decisions I took. First career decision was IIT JEE preparation. That decision I took because everybody around me was going for this. Then the second career decision was the software job. I forgot my teaching thing and went for DSA interview preparation because everybody in IIT Roorkee was preparing for problem solving DSA interviews. The third career decision was about going for the teaching job at a lower salary that I took out of my own. My all friends in every other IIT or maybe in other companies, they were all either planning to go to US or they were working hard in their own companies to get promoted. But I took a decision of my own which I wanted to do, and that worked for me. So business building is mostly about risk taking. I took the risk, right? I went for a lower salary and Geek was not making any money. Bigger risk you take, bigger the higher are the chances that you will be doing something big. I took a balanced risk, not a very, very big risk. I took a risk where I went for a slightly lower salary and I was still earning. So for business, there is a simple formula: higher risk, higher chances of success, and higher chances of going that down also. Right? If you take a balance risk and balance up and balance down. I have taken 15 years to build this company. Had I probably started full time instead of going for a teaching job, I would have maybe doing better than what I am doing today. Right? But I took a balance risk. So that's the simple thing about business. First thing is, if you see a problem around you which you can solve with your skills, try solving it and do as soon as possible because business building takes a lot of time. The second thing is you will have to take some risk, right? It might be balance, it might be something higher risk.
I'd just like to add that see, for all the content creators that you might have seen, there's a lot of people not only in tech, there's tech, but people in tech also, people in finance also, people in which are creators. One of the major part of building a business is distribution. Right? To have your own distribution, take it on your audiences, they are not you might have seen Nikhil Kamat's podcast, right? Calling people, talking to them. So kind of personal brand building also. Now way forward, people know Nikhil Kamat. Who is Nikhil Kamat? Rather than Zerota, right? Zerota is one, but Nikhil Kamat is the face. Same as the face of both. So now you know who is Aman Gupta, right? Earlier you were not aware who is Aman Gupta. So you know the brand and the founder are somehow synonymous. This is how this is how I see this as business.
Thanks a lot, sir, for sharing your experiences. Sandeep, sir, my next question is for you. GFC is renowned as an exceptional platform for learning and exploration. Could you please elaborate on how students can leverage GFC to effectively secure internships and jobs?
So, on GFG, we encourage coding a lot. We have something called problem of the day, where if you solve the problems for some continuous number of days, we give you goodies and t-shirts and contracts and all those things. So, solving problem of the day, and we try very, very hard to make sure that the problem that we are publishing for problem of the day particularly, all the test cases are perfectly good. There is video tutorial, there is explanation on YouTube, and everything is there. So problem of the day is something that you can definitely try. Then we are publishing jobs and internships also in Geeks for Geeks, so you can try that also. and then we do a weekly coding challenge also, and we are going to change something in the weekly coding challenge very soon. We are going to hire all our in-office interns, the software interns, who that coding challenge only, right? And we will be paying really above the market standard internship for those people. But we are going to select from the weekly contest, and then we are going to have next round after that. So you can use all these, and the content is anyways there, and we are working on the communities. There's some new product on the Swiss community where we are helping students in resolving their doubts also. We are actively publishing jobs there also, and we are trying to interact with all the students and all the queries of the students. So these are the ways. One thing I would like to add about internship and job is, see, if you compare internship and job with IIT preparation or UPSC preparation versus tech interviews, the one thing, there are huge differences. One difference is there's no fixed syllabus. Companies might ask you anything. I actually appeared in a company interview in my tech, and this company asked me a puzzle. And if you know the puzzle in a fashion environment, you can answer, otherwise you can't answer. So there is no limit. Anything can be asked in the interview, right? There are some standard things that you already know, right? DBMS, DSA, operating system, object-oriented visual design, and all. Apart from that, there is no limit. So please be prepared for that. The second thing is, it's not one-time opportunity. एक साल में एक ही बार एग्जाम आएगा, कभी जाके दिया, अच्छा किया तो किया, नहीं तो फिर अगले साल का वेट करो. Take jobs are like there are thousands of companies, right? And you can appear in n number of companies. And the people who share on social media that I got placed in this company, got placed in that company, they have been rejected most likely multiple times before. So be prepared for positions and appear in as many interviews as possible.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I'm sure you've heard this question before, but there are many students who actually would like to directly go for higher studies from their graduation. So they want to pursue a master's degree. So what is your advice to them? Should they apply directly for internships? Do they go for research interns? And if they do actually apply for internships, are they even qualified for that?
See, you need to know what you want to do after your college, right? You should see what you want to learn. If getting a job is an objective, then I believe masters might not be the right option. You can do it in a graduation college also. If you are passionate about research, right? You already are into research, you have done some research papers, you have worked with some professors, and you have a good research portfolio in your background, and you further want to deep dive into that particular specific topic, then masters might be a relevant field for you. And when I talk about masters, also the multiple options, right? Masters in India, getting an MBA degree from India, masters abroad, one is MSCS, masters abroad, MBA, masters in India, MBA. Right? So there are four different options that you see after that. You need to decide what you want to do. Let's say if you are very passionate about coding, you want to get an opportunity directly in Silicon Valley or somewhere. So doing a master's would give you an advantage somehow. Last year we have seen companies were hiring directly people, they were sponsoring people also, people were directly getting hired from India for foreign roles, but in this year and past year we have not seen that. We are not sponsoring that visa thing. But yeah, if you are really passionate, you can get that remote job within India. You work for a company within India for let's say a year or so, you prove yourself, then that company will call you up and sponsor you. That is one pathway. So you need to decide what exactly is your end goal, where you want to see. If job is the only one getting a job in India and Amazon, that you can do within your BTech college also. You know, specifically to go and spend 6 7 months or 8, then go for 2 years of tech, then getting an IT degree. Might not be relevant, you can do that right now also. If your goal is research specific, or if you are passionate about teaching, education, then MTech from India might be a good option. Or you are like currently the job market is not so good, right? So seeing the situation, many people are going outside, but the US market is also not so good. And you have kind of a lot of pressure when you go to US on a loan of let's say 60 lakhs to 1 CR. And then after the sponsor visa expires, you are bound to come back to India. And returning that loan amount would be a big pressure there. So you need to decide on and take a calculated risk, whatever you want to do. So yeah, this is something that I think.
Thank you so much, sir. My next question is for both of you. One of the most difficult jobs in today's scenario is to manage time. And at the stage of your life when you are so successful, I can't imagine how hard it would be. Could you please share with us how you spend your day? How much productivity do you expect And how much time do you give your personal life and your work?
Okay, so it depends upon the phase you are in. Before talking about my time right now, I'll talk about a bit about my time when I was your age. So at that time, I was spending mostly time in studies. And when I started Geeks for Geeks, I was alone. There was no team for 6, 7 years, right? So I was mostly spending time on Geeks for Geeks only. मैं ऑफिस से आता था, आते ही Geeks for Geeks खोला, आर्टिकल लिखा, पब्लिश करा, और स्टूडेंट्स क्या करते थे, स्क्रिप्ट चला के डाउनलोड करते थे. उस टाइम इंटरनेट इतना इजीली अवेलेबल नहीं था. So I used to have this command running on my terminal all the time. This command uptime in a loop that used to tell me what is the server load right now. And I used to manually block the IP addresses of the colleges which were running the script. So this was the amount of time I was giving on Geek Stories. Every contribution that I was getting on Geek Stories contribute email, I was reviewing everything. And student को contribution भेजते थे वो पूरा main में सब कुछ code लिखा होता था. So I was manually changing every code, breaking it into functions, giving proper variable names. That's the amount of time I was giving on these stories. If you talk about now, I mean, how I spend my time, now my time is spent, I don't do anything in the company, to be very particular. I feel, very I'm living that I'm in the company here and everybody in the office working. Right? I don't do anything in the company right now. I just do meetings mostly. And my idea in the company right now is to just make sure that the company's vision is communicated to all the core team members and then they're communicating to their team members. I do mostly meetings only. I stay in office 11 to 12 hours. Even now, I reach office at 8 or 8:30 and I leave office by 7:30 or 8 and I do meetings all the time. I do meetings with people at all the levels. And earlier I was doing fixed time meetings and I realized it's not of much use. I should be doing different meetings at different times, not fixed time because sometimes you don't have anything to discuss at a fixed time. So I do all the meetings all the time.
Sir, kindly tell us how your life is.
So I have seen Kavita from quite some time. When I was in college, Kavita came to deliver a second. I've been seeing him from that time. And at that time, I was not aware of any other platform other than Mix. So I was shocked to see how he is able to manage his time, right? And you as a college student, मतलब तुम्हारा सबसे बड़ा pain point हो गया मेरे पास time नहीं, right? तो कॉलेज की assignments करनी है, तो ये करना है, कॉलेज में टेस्ट होता है, एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर है, क्लब्स हैं, right? तुम्हारा सबसे बड़ा pain point हो गया मेरे पास तो time नहीं है. हम बोलते हैं 1-2 घंटे कोडिंग कर लो, 1-2 घंटे कोडिंग करने का भी टाइम नहीं है, सारा दिन पैक रहता है. एक वीकेंड दोस्तों के साथ निकल जाते हैं, हॉस्टल में निकल जाते हैं, पता ही नहीं चलता टाइम कहाँ चला गया. फिर थोड़े थोड़े टाइम पर एग्जाम देते रहते हैं, एग्जाम से पढ़ जाते हैं, तो वी डोंट हैव टाइम, राइट? सबका पेन पॉइंट है ना? यस और नो?
Yes.
I am into corporate. मैं कह रहा हूँ कि जितना टाइम हमारे पास कॉलेज में ना, इतना टाइम और कहीं नहीं मिलेगा. This is the most time that we are getting right now. एक ऐसा बड़ी कॉलेज है. It's the most time we are getting right now. Once you are in corporate, don't take it otherwise. Once you are in corporate, things would be totally different, right? वहाँ पे you are bound to, like, you will be in a different city, doing everything on your own, managing your finances, managing your groceries, managing your entire household. You will be managing, right? Now you still have a dependency on your parents. You can talk to them. You can do whatever, but in a new city like Bangalore or Bangalore, you need to manage everything on your own. The weekends are spent somehow on managing stuff. The weekends are spent somehow in office. And with the scenario we have seen, the work pressure and everything is built up eventually. Right? So you might not have that much time once you're out of college. What I used to do is, like, see, I currently have a full-time job. I work on Samsung, a 5-day full-time job where I need to go to office. Apart from that, I create content on platforms, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, stuff, and kind of I handle it single-handedly where I might outsource some of the things to freelancers. So video editing or that, there's some freelancer and hand it over, but shoot and everything is all done. And then we need to keep your audience engaged from time to time, right? We need to interact with them, क्या चल रहा है, so that you have that connection. तो वो चीजें चलती रहती हैं, right? हाँ, this is all on weekend it's college. So entire thing is that weekdays mostly office and office work. Some days on weekdays you get time, so I shoot at night so from office. Weekends are mostly in traveling. We do I think 40-45 events last year. So it was in so many colleges, different parts of India. So that is something if you feel that something is work project, if something is important, so you will find time for it. अगर वो चीज important लगनी चाहिए, time manage हो जाएगा, you will eventually do it. तो कहीं से time कर सकते हो उसको दे दोगे, but दिमाग में रहना चाहिए कि ये चीज important है. अगर वो चीज important नहीं लगेगी, you might not be able to manage time. एक बार वो चीज की importance समझ जाओगे, then things will be.
Thank you, sir. Sandeep sir, actually there's a saying in our college that BSc कर लो, internship लग जाएगी. So how true is that? And is there any buzz for new tech words like AI and ML when you're sitting for internship interviews?
DSA is still asked, man. I mean, it's not like DSA is not asked now. AI, ML interviews are happening. I meet a lot of software developers. Many times what happens in traveling and somebody finds out this and some key and they just start talking to me. And I just ask them this simple question, how are the interviews happening these days? I meet a lot of software developers while traveling also. So they all tell me that they all ask DSA still even now. So DSA is not going anywhere as of now. And I mean, there is no, I can't say that it won't go away. I mean, I strongly believe that AI interviews are definitely going to be better. If there is an AI which is interviewing a person, can interview on multiple aspects, and there is not going to be any bias about anything, right? So it's going to be purely logical, but how many years it's going to take, nobody knows. So right now it's purely DSA. And even if AI solutions start coming in, for example, we build an AI solution, we are working on an AI solution, and other job portals, other tech hiring companies, they start building an AI solution, it will take lot many years for the companies to opt for it. They will continue for DSA for a long, long time. It won't happen that suddenly after 2 years you're not getting an interview because you're at DSA and company are not asking DSA. Even right now, DSA is the best way to evaluate.
Thank you, sir. Sir, what was the driving force or the motivation behind starting your own YouTube and Telegram to help the students with the job openings and etc.? Could you please take us back to that time when this idea popped up in your head?
As I already told, it was not planned. I didn't know. Like, I was very convinced that the fact that even if 100 people would watch me, I get content. So that was the idea. And the first video that I made like was my hackathon experience that I got on YouTube and originally, and that I kind of made it like on YouTube in 21, January 21. So वहाँ से I started seeing that I got some good, really good impactful comments from people. Yeah, this was really helpful. And if this comes this year, we'll have an idea how to participate, what all things to do, hackathon, basically to make a presentation, right? What all things to write in a presentation, how concise it should be, and how to make a team for that particular hackathon, how you can get vertical opportunities like these from different companies, and how, because hackathon at that time was very heavy terms for a college student, right? I don't know anything, how can I go and participate in that? But that idea was wrong. Even if you are a first year, second year student, you just know basic HTML, CSS, JavaScript, you can build a simple front end page, right? And your idea is pretty solid. So it's all that you need to know how to collaborate with people. Like somebody is very good at front end, somebody is very good at AI, somebody is very good at deployment, somebody is very good at data analysis. So we need to make a collaborative environment and do stuff. So that was the idea that I took for that video, and I really got the this year. This is something that is okay. And I was free at that time. There was no plan of going for content. I was free at that time. I already had 2 3 offers. I was in electronics and communication in my college. 8 semesters of 21. And I didn't have anything to do. I was off the station. I wanted to apply for it. And college also was online. So there was a lot of time. Nobody was setting up that online environment. How many of you have spent years in COVID? You were attending classes in COVID time? No. You're from which batch? People who have attended classes in COVID time, maybe or years, they would know how the academia was going on at that time. Exams and stuff. Right? So the same, and then there's something known as YouTube को monetize करना, you should cross some 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers. So let's do it. It's a milestone. Let's do it. So in fact, I created 28 videos, 28 days. I was able to cross that target. So once that was crossed, then there was, and by that time I was able to reach 15, 20,000 subscribers. Now you have a kind of responsibility attached here. Now 15, 20,000 people are watching. Right? When I got up to just 100 years. Now 15, 20,000 is a responsibility started getting on it, getting that thank you messages from that doing something
something like that. And that was the phase when everyone was like, all companies are hiring, budget people are getting done. And I was seeing that this is something I was working. That was the idea. It gave me motivation when I meet the let's say 5 6 months I was in the conversation and then a company approached me and asked me if I can teach data to the working for them. And I said, okay, this is something that I can try.
Am I not audible to that? Now it's audible, right? So, then a company came like, can you teach TSA for students? I have never thought, okay, I would go ahead and teach data structure like this. Right? I did it for 6 7 8 months, and I really liked it. And the kind of interaction that you see in a class, right? That is totally different. So I did it, and I've been doing it for quite some time. And after that, I started going for off-campus, offline events, started with a job. Then you see the kind of impact. Now, every single day you get so many messages from people that you can't stop. That is something that drives you to create more content, create more impact. There are multiple instances where I have met people in Bangalore and they say that they have seen a video which I created 2 years ago. And somehow that was helpful for getting their current internship or current job. In colleges also, like I got an invitation from a college that was a tier 3, tier 4 college, no placements, not even service companies visit, and 4 of their college students got an internship in Canada. That was MyTech's global research internship. And I created a video on that 2 years ago. And the students were selected. The Canadian placement cell asked them, how did you get to know about it? How did you apply? Because nobody in that college knew about it. So they told my name. Then they reached out to me. This is something that we are doing a felicitation ceremony with their parents and we want to call it. So that was the result of that. So that is the kind of impact that you see. It was a tier 3 college in Shirdi, Maharashtra, and 4 students of them were going for an internship in Canada, and all 4 of them have got a master's in mission in Canada. So all of them are doing masters in Canada. These are small, this is just one. There's so many instances. This is something that keeps me motivated. This is how the content is.
Thank you, sir. My next question will be for both of you. I am pretty sure that many of us, and including myself, you two are the role models for. But I wanted to ask you, who were your role models and who did you take inspiration from at the start of your careers?
I strongly believe, guys, we should not be having a single person as a role model. We should not be following anybody particularly. Every person is different. You are different. I am different. And I still believe in the story. I watch all podcasts of all the founders who are 4 5 years ahead of me. But I don't follow anybody particularly. I just listen to all of them, see what are their shortcomings, what are their positive things, and I learn from all of that. And I feel like we should also be doing this because blindly following one person or following one person is not a good idea. You are a different person, born in a different time, in a different family, and so there are a lot of factors that come in. And I would like to add what Arsh just mentioned. One more thing is he mentioned about thank you emails. So if you are building a business or doing anything, whatever Gyan I gave here, the most important thing is those thank you messages, thank you emails. If you keep getting it, you will get all the time, right? Like I got this time on Sunday, Arsh got this time on Sunday. Because of those thank you emails and messages, that's the most important thing. If you're building a business, start solving a problem of the people, and once you start getting those messages, you won't stop.
True, as such, and I totally resonate with the idea. One role model that people used to have, but somehow people get into the cult following of that particular thing, right? That is something that I don't particularly follow, and I don't advise also. Let's say you would see people fighting over features, right? This is the best feature, this is the best feature, this is the best feature. So there's a huge controversy kind of thing starts after some time, and people are fighting. Students are writing in the comments section, this is good, he's bad, he's good. And people are just fighting and wasting your time. It's better which like the multiple people who have got let's say stacks or views of it on YouTube, right? So it's not about this is the best or this is the best. For somebody, X person would be the best. For somebody, Y would be the best. Whosoever is best for you, go ahead and follow him or whatever you do. Right? Don't just depend on one. Same the case in role models. Try to work for people with growth mindset who have achieved something in life. They can be your role model, but this also keeps on changing. Maybe at some point of time you realize your interests have significantly changed, right? College से start में सबको लगता था कि यार मेरे को इस कंपनी में जाना है, मेरे को I want to do this. But let's say third year तक आ जाते तुम्हारा बिल्कुल plan change होगा कि नहीं मुझे तो masters करना है, तुम्हारा role model भी change हो जाएगा इसमें. It's dynamic, it's not static.
Thank you, sir. As Sandeep sir was talking about it, sir, how does the feeling begin? Like What is your reaction when you get so many thankful messages from so many people who you help in internship and jobs?
It's the same, right? You can see the impact that you're doing. I am working, let's say I'm working for a company where I am a part of a big team, and in that big team, we are working on one specific product. From that particular product, I'm working on one specific thing. Right? That may go like in 2 years or not, or maybe the product gets dropped. But here, what I am seeing is like I can actually see the kind of impact in front of me. Right? And let's say the first dollar, first placement is not just for that particular student, but his entire family history gets changed somehow, right? Somebody like I met a parent and a girl. They came to drop her in Bangalore for an internship. She got her internship at Adobe, right? So I was just on the street and I met them. The girl recognized me and her father came to me to ask me, are you do you do you because the girl was hesitant. I said yes. Then she came and then we got an introduction. So they also came from a very remote town and they were not convinced of the fact that internship में people can get a 1 lakh segment per month. The parents were not convinced कि 1 lakh segment मिलेगा हो सकता है. तो ऐसा क्या काम कर 90 से 1 लाख रुपया देंगे. those are all the investigation. So whenever I talk to them as part of the that kind of thing happened. They don't go actually just educate with them, they realize I am making possible. No mindset, no growth is big. And this was just a small story. ऐसी बहुत सारी story है. You get so many messages जहाँ पे लोग पूरा अपना situation describe करते हैं. तो वो message कभी पढ़ोगे ना उसमें emotions लिखे होते हैं. अभी भी market is very bad. Same thing I tell you, still longing again. To start read somebody that you work so hard, it's kind of struggling. So you get to see the emotion. And once he or she gets the job, you get to see the emotion. So कोई emotions बहुत बड़े factor है, तो मैं psychologically also, and the kind of work that you do. That motivates you to grow, that motivates you to work every single day. Because आपका एक छोटा सा effort का किसी की life change कर सकता है. That is something that.
Absolutely right. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sandeep, sir. Thank you, us, sir, for sharing such good experiences of your life. Now, I would request all the audience that we will be explaining you about our question portal, and we will now begin with the questions from the audience. Thank you.
So good evening, everyone. CCS has developed a doubt board over here, and I'm pretty sure you all have some very insightful questions you would like to ask your esteemed judges. So I request you all to scan this QR code, and when you scan this QR code, I request you to write the speaker's name first, to who you want to address your question, and then your question. And below that, you need to enter your name.
now we shall start with questions by you guys only. So, the first question is, a good company starts with a good problem. How can aspiring tech entrepreneurs identify the right problems to address to create a successful company just like you did for CPG? So, I assume this for you, Sandeep sir. Uh, the big problem that we have in India is many of us just try to copy what is happening in China or US. So if you look at GFG example, job is not a big problem in the US, but it was not a problem at least at that time. It is a big problem in India because it's huge crowd and limited number of jobs. So I always say this: try to find out a problem which is around you, which is a local problem, Indian problem, and try to solve it with your passion or your skill. So I had passion for teaching, skill for teaching, and then I saw a problem and tried solving it. And one more thing I would like to add here is I strongly believe in the message conveyed by Forrest Gump movie. If you keep on working on a problem for a long, long time, which you're really, really passionate about, it might take more time, but you will be successful. I spent 15 years on these stories. And to tell you guys, I was never the brightest person, never CG was the best, never the best coder. But I kept on working on a single problem with full passion, because I saw this problem that there are a lot of education issues in engineering and all. So if you have this passion, you have this zeal, right, and if you see a problem around you, solve that problem, you will definitely be successful. It will just take more time. Maybe you will just leave in the middle. That's the problem many entrepreneurs face. And the other problem people face is finance problem. So how it worked in case of GFG? When I started doing GFG full time in 2015, I already had a very, very good income. My and revenue at that time was double of my teaching job. So when you have this kind of setup that works the best, I always suggest this balanced approach for the founders that go in a way that you can do moonlight and build some side business. That works for me.
The next question is for Arshad. Mr. Goel, how do you perceive your role as a senior software engineer at Samsung amidst the current industry landscape of layoffs? And what strategies do you believe are essential for navigating potential shifts or uncertainties within the company?
So good question, and quite relevant to the time we are in. Nobody is tech, though we have seen big tech companies or main companies people talk about Google, Microsoft, Amazon, which other it's a company. They've seen everyone of them laying off people. And it's not just based on merit, or it's not just based on how much work you are shared, it's just on the basis of cost cutting of the company, right? Let's say they want to lay off 1,000 people, they will lay off 1,000 people, they just cut them off, whether they are very good or they are bad. So it was not company had laid off people, but they were not dependent upon how good people were or how bad people were. It was just a number, it was just a team that was entirely removed from that organization. So yeah, the role is very dynamic. The best strategy at this point of time is you need to keep yourself competitive with whatsoever is happening. I'm not saying go ahead and learn anything out there, but you should be aware of how to keep yourself competitive. People talk about AI, ChatGPT, people talk about AI, ChatGPT, Gen AI at this point of time, but I'm not saying you go ahead and do a course on prompt engineering. You might have seen a lot of courses coming up on prompt engineering. It's like, how can you make your work more efficient using these Gen AI tools, right? I've seen most of the people who used to search on Stack Overflow or on Google, they have somehow moved to GPT, GPT-4, or they somehow moved to Bard or Gemini. So that is something that that I maybe would have completed in, let's say, 2 hours. I was able to do it in 30 minutes or 40 minutes. So that time efficient approach is what you get on how to use these tools more efficiently. Everyone can do that, and I've seen most people doing it. So take this for granted. This is not something that is going with you forever. You need to keep yourself updated. You need to learn new technologies. You need to get involved. Let's say you're working as a front-end engineer. You should be the one who should take an initiative and learn more about backend, be a full stack engineer. You should show your participation in the company. You should see, everyone should see that you are the one who are bringing some impact to the company, right? Then you are kind of secure.
That's definitely like when we go keep Instagram developing for the continuous learning process. And now the next question is to Sandeep sir. Had GSG not succeeded,
would you have continued as a software engineering? Like that's a good question. Like if not GLE, then the zeal inside you for entrepreneurship, would that have kept alive?
I would not have been a software engineer. I wasn't a successful software engineer. I told you guys, I wasn't being promoted on time. And there were people joining me, they were promoted 1.5 years, some of them got promoted 2 years. I was not enjoying it, this job. In fact, I was given this feedback, you were not at the top, not at the bottom, you were an average employee. But when I went for a teaching job in that private college, I was called by HOD one day and he said, I've never seen a faculty getting such a good feedback for the students. So I would definitely have been a professor in an engineering college and would have been trying to do something so that I can fill the gap of my software salary and the teaching salary, the salary that my friends are getting in software companies.
Indeed, that was a very good answer. The next question is, I'm currently a second year enrolled in biotechnology and want to pursue a career in computer science. Please guide me what career path should I take and what are some specific fields for me.
Currently in second year, you are enrolled in biotechnology. You want to pursue a career in computer science.
You want to pursue a career in computer science. So see, there are two, three things. First of all, if you feel that uh, you definitely want to go to computer science, just understand if you want to go or not. Just like what motivates you to move to computer science. You should have a correct answer for this. Right? Once you're motivated enough, then you are in your second year. You can create your journey from here also. You still have 2 to 3 years within college. So you can build a portfolio of your projects. You can start working on different technologies. Let's say you pick one technology and try to your best in it. This is what I suggest. If you are a good front-end engineer, let's say you try hard and get to be in the top 1% front-end engineers, then you will definitely get a job. Once you are in the industry, once you maybe to a startup, maybe to any company, you are in the industry for 1 year or 2 years, then your branch might not be that career. Then your experience of being a front-end engineer, how good you are at JavaScript, how good you are at React, that would matter. So this can be one pathway. Second is like after your graduation, you go for a degree in computer science somehow, and then you transition. That's the traditional way. But the first one maybe might need to work a little more harder. Do it learn some knowledge, have that scope of work, get some freelancing projects, so that your portfolio is filled with the computer science things, and then only you can maybe transition to computer science easily. I have seen people from any mechanical, from civil, from chemical, they are in industry, they are doing good. And once you're out of college, nobody would ask your branch as such. You have to work in a company for 1 year, 2 years, that would matter. So just follow this, I guess it will be fine.
Aside, like, one need to get himself enough motivated for something outside the branch. The next question is for Sandeep sir. What kind and amount of business and financial knowledge is essential? Well, prerequisite for starting starting a tech startup. I always suggest that guys don't look for these prerequisites. Start as soon as possible because you will learn by doing it more, and you will make some mistakes and do. I mean, even you can start now. I mean, in the first year, second year, try building some product which is helpful, say for 5 people, and just start saying it. यार मजा आ गया आपका प्रोडक्ट यूज करके मेरी लाइफ आसान हो गई मेरी ये चीज आसान हो गई देन यू आर इन गुड स्पेस तो 5 से 10 15 20 का हो जाएगा पता नहीं चलेगा मुझे नहीं पता था कि इंटरनेट पे इतने लोग इसको यूज करते हैं मैंने जब ट्विटर करा मैं पहली बार कॉलेज में टॉक देने गया तो वहां जाके मुझे पता लगा सब लोग यूज कर रहे हैं यहाँ पर हाँ कमिंग बैक टू दिस क्वेश्चन आई कवर इट अ बिट फाइनेंशियल नॉलेज होना है बहुत जरूरी है ज्यादातर बिजनेस देयर इज अ स्टडी दैट सेज कि 90-95% बिजनेसेस फाइनेंशियल प्रॉब्लम्स की वजह से ही खत्म होते हैं जो खत्म हो जाते हैं तो एक तो हमें पता होना चाहिए कि क्या चीज प्रॉफिट होती है प्रॉफिट में जाती है क्या चीज लॉस में जाती है क्या एसेट होता है क्या लायबिलिटी होता है फॉर एग्जांपल देयर माइट बी सिचुएशन इन योर कंपनी दैट यू आर जीरो इन योर बैंक बट यू नीड टू पे टैक्सेस क्योंकि आप जो चीजें खरीदते हो फर्नीचर खरीदा लैपटॉप खरीदा वो बहुत सारी चीजें एसेट में जाती हैं वो एक्सपेंसिव में नहीं जाती लॉस में नहीं जाते हैं वो उस पर डेप्रिशिएशन लगता है 15% का ये सब चीजें थोड़ी पता होनी चाहिए ये मुझे नहीं पता था एक बार ऐसा टाइम आया हमारे ऊपर तो बूटस्ट्रैप कंपनी है हमने कभी लोन नहीं लिया है ना कोई फंडिंग ली है एक टाइम ऐसा आया कि हमारे बैंकों से पैसे नहीं थे लेकिन हमने टैक्स भी करना था क्योंकि हमने बहुत सारी लैपटॉप और एक बार हमने क्या किया एक फ्लोर खुद से बनवा लिया ऑफिस का हमने सोचा ओनर ने बोला यार मैं आधा किराया कर दूंगा तुम खुद बनवा लोगे। तो जितना फर्नीचर खरीदा जितना लैपटॉप खरीदा वो सब एसेट में चला गया और उसमें 15% डेप्रिसिएशन था, बाकी पे टैक्स लग गया। तो ये सब चीजें थोड़ी पता होनी चाहिए, बाकी यार करते करते सब सीख जाते हैं।
Yes, so while managing finances is a huge factor to consider, going for taking calculated risks are also important. The next question is, any emerging technologies that college students should be aware of for bagging internships and jobs?
See, as a college student, companies won't expect you to know everything. Right? You might have seen buzzwords, DevOps, blockchain, Web3, you become something, right? But the more and the most important thing that a big company would expect out of you is your fundamentals. How good you are fundamentally. Your entire interview process is, for most of the companies, big tech companies will talk about, so the entire interview process is based on data structural algorithms. So if your fundamentals are strong, you can easily learn those data structural algorithms. Nobody would outrightly come for a DevOps role for a fresher. Nobody would outrightly come for a data science role for a fresher. Very few companies might come, but majority of companies would hire you for a software engineering position. And for that, it's fundamentals that matter. Yes, when I say emerging technologies, you should be aware about stuff. I'm not saying कि separately तुम बिल्कुल field ही change कर लो, but you should be aware about stuff. Yeah, this is something how I can use it for my own good. Right? ChatGPT or GenAI, how can this be more beneficial and make my learning journey more comprehensive? When I talk about, let's say you want to become a front-end engineer, ChatGPT you would ask, give me a roadmap of becoming a front-end engineer for a 19-year-old college-going student. So it will frame up a roadmap or a pathway for you. This is how you should use it. Rather than just going ahead and learning new technologies, companies won't ask you about new technologies. Major thing is your fundamentals.
That's true. So moving on to next question, like how can we start a startup or develop a business model in college and not of placement?
गाइस आई वुड सजेस्ट कि है ना जॉब तो करना चाहिए, पहला एक जॉब तो करना चाहिए। ये हो सकता है कि आप जॉब इस हिसाब से चूज कर लो कि आपको अगर ज्यादा मेहनत करनी है कम मेहनत करनी है, ऐसे बड़े सेक्टर में जाओगे तो हो सकता है आपको बहुत ज्यादा हार्डवर्क ना करना पड़े, साइड में कोई बिजनेस बिल्ड करना पड़े, लेकिन जॉब करना चाहिए क्योंकि जॉब में जो सीखने को मिलता है वो बहुत ज्यादा होता है डायरेक्टली स्टार्टअप करने से पहले। लेकिन ये कोई रूल नहीं है, देयर आर पीपल who have dropped out of college, they build successful startup, they're exceptional people. And it's again a simple risk versus success formula. अगर आप जॉब के साथ बिजनेस बिल्ड कर रहे हो जैसे मैंने किया था तो there's a balance risk। अगर आप ड्रॉप आउट करके या जॉब छोड़ के बिजनेस कर रहे हो तो हो सकता है बहुत ऊपर भी चलेगा बहुत नीचे भी चलेगा। तो इट्स ऑल अबाउट द सिंपल रिस्क सक्सेस फॉर्मूला।
Well, that's very well said. So the next question is, do you believe we should use blocks of fixed time for time management or just make it flexible and find our own time?
For this, I would say set short-term goals, try achieving those short-term goals, and then your bigger goal would be achieved. Right? Fixing time schedules might not be a very good approach. When we were in school, right, we used to make a timetable. I wake up at 7 o'clock, 7 to 7:15. I'll get ready. I'll get myself ready, and then I'll go for school. Then 30 minutes में school के लिए travel मैं school पहुंच गया फिर 8 to 2 मैंने school में काम किया then I came back 1 घंटा TV देखा then 1 घंटा this is the kind of schedule that we used to make copy and पे लिखे थे सिखा देते थे तो कितने लोगों ने follow किया है तो ऐसा नहीं है कि एकदम से strict schedule follow कर लिया and you are doing it and ऐसा भी नहीं है कि you need a lot of time right कोई बंदा 6 घंटे में सेम चीज कर रहा है कोई बंदा तो 2 घंटे में वही सेम चीज कर रहा है so you need to make yourself यार अगर मैं 2 घंटे लगा रहा हूँ that should be a focused study focused learning of 2 hours it's 6 घंटे देने की जरूरत नहीं है and set timely goals कि यार मुझे इस मंथ के एंड तक लेट्स से ये चीज अचीव करनी है and उसमें जितना भी टाइम लगे that is up to you चाहे तुम दिन में टाइम दे रहे हो चाहे तुम किसी दिन ब्रेक लेके भी अगले दिन काम स्टार्ट कर रहे हो तो that is something that I have followed and maybe this is something that I tried to approach.
That's definitely valuable. And now, next question. What are your thoughts on tech industry? Like, is it saturated or not? And the next big things like drone technology, will dive in after some time.
So
I don't think it's saturated. I think the technology, the backend development, these kind of jobs are still going to be there. And any change that happens, it doesn't happen over a year or something. It takes a lot of time. I mean, drone technology has been there for a long time, but even if it picks up and becomes the next big thing, it will take certain years. So by the time you graduate, by the time you finish engineering, it won't happen that everything will be drastically changed. Changes happen slowly, especially in India. I mean, I can give you an example. The coding hiring challenges that happens. I mean, the hackathons, shortathons that happen. These things are the best ways to recruit candidates, and everybody was aware of it for a long time. But Indian service-based companies, they were still asking logical reasoning, aptitude, English, grammar, good discussion. So it took them a lot of time to change the way they hire. They recently started doing coding challenges. So that's the pace at which things change in India, and they don't change that fast in US and the countries also. So I mean, it changes fast, but it's going to take certain years.
Thank you. So the next question is contributing in a research paper as a fresher worth it?
See, uh, when you say a research paper, right? When you write a research paper, you need to understand it from different point of view. A specific topic where you are doing research. So there are n number of key points that you will research about, you will learn, you will study, you will read documentation, you will read, let's say, writing a research paper, you will read 5, 6 research papers in the same field so that you get an idea. You will talk to people, you will frame it up, you will know how to write it. That is something that you do in a company also, right? You join a new company, you need to understand their documentation. That would somehow help you in your professional journey also, but you need to decide on your goals. Like if you are into research, maybe what is your next plan after your college? If you want to go for a master's degree here or master's degree abroad, so you are very specific to, let's say, one particular technology. Let's say you are into neural networks or something, the domain you have selected, and you have done your research in that particular field. After your college, you have a good portfolio that you can go and foreign universities prefer if you have a number of research people in your portfolio. You get an admission, you get a scholarship based on that, and you can pursue your high level research there in that specific way. But you should, मतलब वो चीज समझ लेनी चाहिए था कॉलेज में कि हाँ मुझे ये करना है. ऐसे कुछ ये नहीं है कि तुम्हें रिसर्च पेपर किसी और उसका स्पेसिफिकली लाकर तुम्हें कहीं पे फायदा होगा. हाँ, if you feel that कि तुम्हें उस वाली बात को फॉलो करना है, you want to go to research, then it is good. But anyhow, if you feel that you have time, तो तुम्हें बहुत सारी चीजें सिखाने जाएगा. But I was recently in a college वहाँ पे research paper लिखना हर सेमेस्टर में compulsory है. It's a mandate of their curriculum. Your research papers should be published in any बहुत सारे journals होते हैं, right? Research paper अगर होते जाए तो next time में तुम्हारा जितने भी हमारे grade हैं वो grade आपको भी लगेगा. So this is something that I saw in a college that was happening. उस college के बच्चों ने ना मतलब everyone had around 3-4 papers by the time they were in college. So it depends totally on the goals that you have in mind. But yeah, definitely happen.
That's quite interesting to be very honest. And now the next question for Ulcer as well. How did you land an internship at ISRO?
See, it was luck by chance. I would say it was a cold email. Cold email होता है ना सबने? Cold email क्या होता है? Have you heard of cold emailing? Yes. जब outrightly जाके किसी को mail करते हो, आपको जानता भी नहीं है बंदा, you expect का reply. वैसे ही मतलब I already had an internship at the company. I was kind of exploring उस टाइम ना ML AI का craze चल रहा था कि हर कोई दोस्तों में भी everyone was doing artificial intelligence ML. मैंने 2-3 courses कर लिए थे उस टाइम पे यूट्यूब से ऐसे 3 साल करके 2-3 courses में 3-4 projects बना लिए. I thought यार इस domain को let's say how organization would explore. उनमें हो रहा है ML का काम है. मैंने अपने portfolio बनाया जिसमें projects लिए अपना interest of become I am interested in this I want to pursue. तो मैंने देखा कि कितनी गवर्नमेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है शायद ये भी काम करते हैं. तो डीआरडीओ है, इसरो है, और भी कुछ पीएसयूज हैं जो स्पेसिफिकली टेक में काम करते हैं, इस टाइप का काम करते हैं. तो आई वेंट ऑन टू लिंक्डइन में जाके बहुत सारे कंप्यूटर साइंटिस्ट होते हैं जो इसरो में काम करते हैं. उनकी ईमेल आईडीज निकाली. I mailed to approximately 50-60 people, different organizations. I got a reply from 2-3. इनमें से एक बंदे ने कहा मतलब the conversation was going on mail only, and one of them asked me about to schedule a interview specific time. एक interview schedule हुआ. So after that he liked my profile. उसको था कि हाँ I want to learn something. उसके बाद एक और interview हुआ and finally I got a winter internship at ISRO. So that time it was specifically in IIRS, Indian Institute of Remote Sensing. Dehradun, and I was working on a project where ISRO was helping government to calculate the crop insurance for farmers in Punjab and ये नॉर्थ वाली बेल्ट में क्या होता है जब रेन एंड फ्लड वाला कंडीशन होता है तो किसानों की जमीन में से मतलब फसल खराब हो जाती है तो ISRO used to capture those pictures from the top मतलब ऊपर से क्लाउड से पिक्चर्स देता था and they were not normal pictures JPG फाइल्स नहीं होती थी what bill files होती थी उन bill files जो images ISRO लेता था how to use generative adversarial networks GANs बोलते हैं and how can you get something out of it so that it is easy for you to calculate that amount government को exactly figure out that number ऐसे फील्ड में जाकर के सब कैलकुलेट करना you have that data. So that was the kind of project that I did there. Yeah, it was a good experience.
Well, that was very interesting and something we all can take inspiration from. So the next question is, how would you guide a completely clueless first year in his path to discover his career?
So, अगर मैं फर्स्ट ईयर में है, I would say फर्स्ट ईयर एक्सप्लोर करने को लगा दूँ. It's not कि सबको क्लैरिटी होती है. When I came in my first year, वहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा फोमो क्रिएट कर देते थे बच्चे जो ICSE में पढ़ के आते थे. मुझे तो ऑलरेडी कोडिंग आती है. I know HTML, CSS, C++, मुझे ऑलरेडी आता है. उनको लिंक स्टैक्स तक आता था. I guess उन्हें बड़ा दिखा था. And I was from a physical education background, जिसको कुछ नहीं पता है कोडिंग क्या होती है क्या. तो वहाँ पे स्टार्टिंग में वो बच्चा फोमो क्रिएट कर देता है. वो फोमो नहीं क्रिएट करता. वो जो चीज पढ़ के आया ताकि वो लर्न इन लेट्स से 10 डेज का टाइम फ्रेम या 15 डेज का टाइम फ्रेम मैथमेटिक्स अगर तुम सच में पढ़ना चाहते हो तो I would not say कि यार एक specific roadmap का तुम्हें यही follow करना है and this will get you success. हर किसी का different होगा. First year में ऐसे एकदम से don't just move ahead कि यार मुझे यही करना. First year में there are multiple things. मान लो तुमने डिसाइड किया तुम्हें टेक कंपनी में जाना है. टेक कंपनी में कौन-कौन से रोल हो सकते हैं? ठीक है, टेक कंपनी में सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग रोल है. टेक कंपनी में एक प्रोडक्ट डिजाइन का रोल है, UI UX इंजीनियर का रोल है जिसमें तुम स्क्रीन्स बनाते हो. जैसे एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल है स्विगी पे आप देखते हो वहाँ पे बहुत सारे फीचर है कोई आइकन कहाँ पे है कोई बटन कहाँ पे है ये ड्रॉप मेन्यू में क्या आएगा बिलिंग काउंटर पे वो स्क्रीन में जो बिल है वो कैसे सेट होगा देयर इज अ बिग प्रोडक्ट डिजाइन टीम बोलते हैं वो ये सब देख के डिजाइन थिंकिंग कैसे है यूजर का एक्सपीरियंस कैसे बेटर हो सकता है यूएक्स डिजाइनर यूएक्स रिसर्चर तो ये भी एक फील्ड है फिर प्रोडक्ट मैनेजमेंट इज वन फील्ड जहाँ पे एक प्रोडक्ट ओनर होता है who talks to business team also who talks to tech team also who talks to product teams also तो design teams also तो तीनों का उसको नॉलेज होता है and he is the one who is a complete product owner मतलब मान लो स्विगी ने एक स्पेसिफिक चीज लॉन्च करी है इंस्टामार्ट तो एक प्रोडक्ट ओनर है उसके एक स्पेसिफिक पार्ट का जो तीनों चीजें देखेंगे टेक में हम ये बनवा रहे हैं कि इसका इससे बिजनेस इम्पैक्ट होगा या नहीं होगा या डिजाइन में ये वाला बटन ऊपर होना चाहिए या नीचे होना चाहिए हाउ विल दैट मेक अ डिफरेंस तो the field known as product management also तो फर्स्ट ईयर में तुम थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लोर करो कि किस चीज में तुम्हें इंटरेस्ट है वंस यू डिसाइड ऑन दिस बहुत टाइम नहीं लगाना है थोड़े टाइम बाद तुम डिसाइड ऑन वन थिंग एंड फिर उसका रोड मैप फॉलो करो सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग का रोड मैप मतलब आई माइट हैव टॉल्ड टू होल्ड इन लॉट ऑफ वीडियोस बहुत सारे लोगों ने बताया वो स्पेसिफिक रोड मैप का सेम वे फॉलो करते हैं प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग पे फोकस करना है एप्लीकेशन पे फोकस करना है देन यू कैन ऑल्सो गो इनटू कंपनी वर्क ऑन दैट तो ये चीज यू कैन फॉलो
Thanks a lot, and thanks a lot to both of you for joining us today. And it was a wonderful session, and I believe that everyone sitting here got some insights to the industry and a better gist of education as a whole. And each one of us will utilize your writings for a better future of ours. That was great, and round of applause. Now I would like to invite President of CCS CIT, Dr. Anjubala, to hand over the mementos to both of you.
ताना नीचे बैठ जा।
Thank you for everyone is asked to please keep seated. We will guide you through.